Hi guys, thanks for joining me on Making with Marilyn. On today's video, I'm going to be making a pair of earrings. They're made out of genuine leather and they have 2 layers. And so let me first show you what I'm going to use for these earrings. I'm going to use my Cricut Maker. I'll use my Design Space software on my computer to design the earrings. I'm going to use, first to cut them, I'm going to place the leather on a strong grip mat. And I am going to put some strong grip transfer tape down on the mat to protect my mat, and I'll show you that. I'm going to use some scotch tape to give extra support to tape my leather down to my strong grip mat. I'm going to use this piece of leather that I purchased at Springfield Leather Company in Springfield, Missouri. It has gold little stripes through the black, and then the back layer will be a piece of black leather. I get just plain black leather in the remnant packs at Hobby Lobby. You can get great deals on those. And then I just roll it up and store it with some like paper bag paper and then a rubber band, hold it together. I'll use my brayer to adhere it down to the strong grip mat. Then after I'm done, I will poke holes in the earrings with this little tool that I got at Harbor Freight. And they're very inexpensive to add my hardware or my findings to my earrings. I'll use this little jump ring tool. You can get those, and I'll show it to you better later. You can get those on Amazon for $3 and something. A pair of needle nose pliers. I'm going to have a pair of scissors handy, and then my hardware, I have some 6mm jump rings, some 4mm jump rings, and then the hooks that go through the earrings. And then lastly, I often use a lighter to help get some of the frays off of the leather. So I think that's it. Before I get started, if you find anything in this video that's helpful or that you like, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, leave them in the comment section. If you'd like to see what I'll be working on in the future, hit the subscribe button. And then if you want to receive notifications of when I upload a video, hit the bell button. Thanks for joining me. Now let's get started. Okay, I'm in Cricut Design Space, and here are 3 earring designs that I have. They are layered, and the different colors just represent different sizes. And this is what I'm going to make today. So these are also tall. They're 3 inches tall and 1.25 inches, 1.252 inches tall. So what I want to do is I want to hide everything else, and so you just come over here and click on the eyeball of what you want to hide. I don't want to make any of those. And then I need to, well, that doesn't matter. If I moved it, I didn't mean to, but I need to duplicate these. So I'm going to hit duplicate. Now typically what you would do from here is you would click Make It, and you'd have one layer on one mat. So this is the taller layer, the darker layer, and then you'd have your next layer on the lighter mat. And you'd cut them separately because you're using separate pieces of leather. Well, my husband is waiting on me to go finish up our Christmas shopping. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut it all at one time. And I want all my earrings to be this dark red. That way they'll cut on one mat. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so here they are. Now I'm going to manipulate where I want them on my mat. And the right set of my mat is a lot less used than the left side of my mat. So I'm going to go ahead and have my shorter set over on this right side. And then I'm going to put my longer earrings toward the bottom. Now what I do is I put them somewhere so that I know exactly where to put my leather. Notice these start up from the bottom about an inch, and then this right earring starts about 1.5 inches over. Same with this. These are down an inch and they start at about 1.5 inches over. So that's going to help me remember where to put my leather on my mat. But if there were any writing or any designs you wanted to make sure you knew where they were, you would mirror it because you're putting your leather upside down. So it's a good habit. I'm going to go ahead and keep it mirrored. Then I click continue. When it recognizes that I am connected to my maker, I'm going to select the material that I want to use, and in this case I'm going to click on Browse All Materials, type in leather, and for this leather I always use the genuine leather setting. I'll click Done. Now notice here it wants me to make sure I have my deep point blade in clamp B, which I do, but I'll show you that when I turn the camera around. So I have already adhered my black leather face down to my mat, but I did hold off on adhering the top piece so that I could show you how I do that. So there is a piece of strong grip Cricut transfer tape right there. It's large enough for where the earrings will actually cut. This is my pretty leather, my gold and my black leather. So I'm going to put it face down. And remember, my design started about 1.5 inches from the left and about 1 inch down. So I'm going to place my leather about 1 inch down and a little less than 1 inch down. That way I have room to put tape around my leather. You want to go ahead and really adhere this well. So push hard on your brayer or whatever you use to adhere things down to your mat. And then the last thing that I want to do is I want to add some just basic Scotch tape. This is tape that I buy at the Dollar Tree, and it's 2 packages for $1. So it's super inexpensive and definitely worth giving that extra support to your leather so that it doesn't shift around while you're cutting it. The maker has so much force that it's putting on leather that it can, if it's not adhered down really well, it can cause some problems. I've experienced that a few times myself, so I've just learned the hard way to make sure you're either using a super sticky mat or use extra support. Okay, so I think that's fine. Go ahead and really push down on that tape so it adheres well to my leather. So I'm ready to cut it, but before I do, I want to make sure that I have my deep point blade in, which I know I do, but I want to make sure it's clean. So you can pull it out, push on this back end, and just make sure there's nothing on that that's going to interfere with a good clean cut. Now the other thing, make sure you're under these little pieces of plastic there, and it's ready for me to load my material. All right, so let's cut. Okay, so from the time that it prompted me to send it into the maker to the time it was done was over a minute, but the actual cut time was right at about a minute for both layers combined. So let's go ahead and unload this. Okay, so let's see how well the cut was. Boy, those come out really nicely. They're very easy to take off the rest of the leather. I just kind of push from behind so that an edge comes up. And then you can pull it up and you see those cut really nicely. Now, I'm just going to set this aside. You want to clean this off as soon as possible, but for purposes of saving time, I'll set that aside. Okay, so the black ones do not have any of the transfer tape on the front side of those, probably because they have a little pebbled texture. But these do have the transfer tape on the front, so you just need to start kind of using your thumb. I wouldn't use your thumbnails so much because you can scratch it. Use your thumb to just kind of push in towards it, and then you'll be able to lift up. So my earrings, when they're done, will look like this. Okay, so I increased my light and put these on a piece of paper. Let me show you what they look like right now. They're really cute. They cut really well, but all leather, most all leather will leave some frayed pieces from the back. So we need to go in and take care of those frays. So there's a couple of ways to do that. One thing that you can do is you can turn your earring so that you're cutting from the back side, and you angle your scissors so you're not cutting straight, you're not cutting through the front, but you're just cutting the very edge of the back so that you get those frays. So you can see those coming off and falling on my paper. It does not affect the front of the earring at all if you're super careful. So I'm going to clean up this layer pretty much with my scissors. Now, the black piece cut a little bit better, a little nicer, less frays in that. And on black leather, what I like to do is I like to use a lighter, and from the back side, not letting it touch the front side, I just burn off those frays. Now the back of this black leather isn't super fuzzy, so it really didn't fray too badly. The fuzzier the back is, usually the more fraying you're going to get. I have frays on my hand, but you can see how clean that is after just a tiny little bit of time using the lighter. Okay, on this one, I don't know if you can see it. There's a little bit of fraying, especially at the top. I'll just spend a few seconds again. Whoops, got too close and put it out. I can see fraying back here, and this just kind of zaps it away. Okay, the next step that I want to do is I want to place the holes in my earrings. And so I just align them at the top, and if the top piece is slightly above the back piece, that's okay. That way it hides the back piece, but don't have it too far or the hole that you poke through might not make it well into the back piece. So just put them together, line them up really well, and then this is my punch tool I got at Harbor Freight. I'm going to place it down gently, and then I'm going to get it really close to me so I can see if it's in the right place. Okay, so I like where it is. Now I'm just going to punch, and you'll probably hear this. So that cut through both layers at one time. So I'll go ahead and get my other set ready, or my other earring ready. Have it all lined up. Again, you're just going to look and see if it's pretty close to where you want it. And then again, I'm going to move it closer so I can see it. Adjust it ever so slightly. And press. Okay, so now we're ready to put the hardware on. And with these, since it's gold leather, I'm going to use gold earring hoops. And then because the little hole on this is not really big enough to go through both layers of this leather, I'm going to have to use some jump rings. And because I want the earrings to be straight across the front, if you just added one jump ring, well, just a minute, I'll show you. Okay, if you just added one jump ring, see it's straight now. If you add one jump ring, your jump ring is going to be facing the same way as the hook. So you have to attach this jump ring to this with another jump ring, and I'm going to use a smaller 4mm jump ring for that. Fine. What I want to do now is I want to find the split in my jump ring, and I don't know if you can see it, but it's right here. So then what I do is I have the split in the jump ring at the top, and then grab a hold of it with my pliers right beside it. Okay, so then I find the smallest slot in this tool that the jump ring will go through. So I have it in there, hopefully you can see that. And then I just twist the jump ring toward me, and that opens up. I'm sorry, I twist the tool towards me, and that opens up the jump ring. Hopefully you can see that. With that behind it, you probably can. So that is opened up now right there. So now I'm just going to place both layers of my leather on it. I'll go ahead and do the same for the other one. Find the split in the jump ring. It's now at the top. Twist the jump ring tool toward me, and again, that opened up this jump ring. So now I can place my 2 layers of leather on this one. Okay, so I'm going to close this one back up by just twisting in the opposite direction, and now hopefully you can see that that jump ring closed up beautifully. We'll do the same with this earring. Okay. Now next what I want to do is open up my small jump rings, and that will allow me to attach my hook to my larger jump ring. So I'm really just doing the same thing that I did with the larger jump rings. It's just a little bit harder with the smaller ones because they are smaller. Okay, so there's my first earring. Okay, so I see the opening in my little jump ring is at the top here, so I'm going to grab to the right of it, take my tool, and I'm going to twist it toward me. Doesn't have to be huge because this jump ring is only going through the larger jump ring and the hook in your earring. So let me figure out, it needs to go this way. So I have everything on there that I need on there. It's a little bit trickier this time because it's kind of full in there, but you use your jump ring tool again, grab onto the side and twist to close it up. Excellent. Okay, so there's our set of earrings. Go ahead and put them back on this paper. Lift them up so you can see them, and see the earrings, the 2 layers hang freely. So as they're sitting here, they may not look like they're straight, but as they're hanging, they're going to hang just perfectly fine. So aren't those super cute? Okay, again, if you found anything in the video that helped you or that you liked, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, suggestions, or comments, leave them in the comment section. And if you'd like to see what I'll be working on in the future, hit that subscribe button And then further, if you want to receive notification of when I upload a new video, hit the bell. Thanks for joining me. I'm Marilyn. Bye-bye.